What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So in this video, I did want to talk about one of my main concerns with Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. Now, to be honest, this is legit my biggest concern. Overall, I really do like the game a lot so far. The beta has been so dang fun. I can't wait for the open one to jump back into it. And then, of course, the game is right after that. But there's only one thing I'm a bit concerned about for the initial launch day, and that's going to come down to legit one thing: the servers. The reason why I did want to talk about this is I also want to know what you guys think about this in the comments below. How do you guys actually think the servers are going to hold up day one? Now, the one thing about this though is I'm not judging the servers right now saying they are awful, because they are most likely having a small amount of players on the VIP beta and stuff to test it out. That way they could see like which areas are messing up when a certain amount of players join it, like how many people are logging on at one time, what's breaking, they can pinpoint it. Like, that stuff does make sense. And what's funny about this though, for all we know, the servers can be absolutely amazing on day one, like we don't know. That's probably also why they were doing the playtest and the PC demo, including the VIP demo for consoles and the open beta that's coming. I really do feel like a lot of this is going to be like a big server test. And you know what though, I feel like I'm probably not the only person in that boat. Like, that really does make a lot of sense. That way they can't completely stress the servers out when tens of thousands of people are actually logging onto it, and again see which points they actually have to pinpoint, because we all do know when the game actually comes out, it's not going to be tens of thousands, it is most likely going to be hundreds of thousands of people trying to get on the game. A quick example of this though is during the beta, guys, the first day it came out, I was not able to play the game at all. Funny thing is, when I was actually in the Discord, a lot of people were having the exact same issue, and it basically became a meme. The entire internal fault thing was legit a meme in that Discord. It was actually hilarious because I could not get out of the character customization menu at all. That's probably also why I have not changed my character at the moment, because when I go into the spa thing, I still can't change the way that he looks. Not really a big deal, but it does make you think about it though. Like, imagine this for a quick second though. Hundreds of thousands of players logging on to test drive at the exact same time. Do you guys think there is going to be issues when that does actually happen? I would say it's probably going to be a high possibility that yes, the servers may end up having issues. You might actually have internal faults, you might have other issues, you might not be able to play the game for at least a few days until they get a patch out. To be honest, I wouldn't be too mad if that was a thing, because I do understand it. This is not like a huge AAA studio. Those games having issues, there is no excuse to that stuff. For example, on Motorfest, I still can't even do a race with my friend on a multi-billion-dollar company, guys. Like, that is just not acceptable. So I would say having a few days if the servers are struggling a bit, then I don't think that's actually going to be a massive problem, but it would definitely make a lot of players upset if they actually want to play it, and that way, you know, they can't even get on it until like 3 or 4 days later when they get a quick hotfix out for the servers. This also makes me think about Grand Theft Auto 6. That game is probably going to have some of the craziest servers in history, bro. Like, we all do know how insane it is for games that have 500,000, 1 million, 2, or even 3 million players logging onto it. That game is probably going to have tens of millions logging onto it at one time. You guys remember the GTA 5 servers back on PS3? My goodness. Now, part of that probably could have been because of like the main hardware of the PlayStation 3, but my goodness, the first 2 or 3 weeks of that game, it was so hard to play it. Then they obviously jumped back in, got it all fixed up. I don't think that will happen to Solar Crown, but I do think a lot of players are going to be a tad concerned for the servers. And you know what though, at this point, that is probably going to be a pretty valid argument. I mean, I do know a lot of players probably want to jump on day one, play the game and stuff, and we all do not know how the day one server stability is going to end up being. I really do believe though the entire like beta testing thing probably is going to help tremendously with it. That's also what I actually thought the PC demo was, and I do feel like the VIP demo and the closed beta is probably going to be a great test for it. The funny thing about this, guys, I really did feel like an actual open beta for the public would have been so fantastic for the server testing. Like, imagine all those players downloading the game and getting on it. That would probably give the developers a big number, or like a big indicator of what exactly they have to be ready for when the game does end up releasing. That's why I actually thought the entire open beta thing was going to happen. That way they can really stress test the servers right before the game comes out and be like, okay, so we have that, we can pinpoint this, we can get that going, and maybe there won't be as many issues when everybody logs onto it. So at least that will probably be like a foundation type of thing where everybody can get into the game, and then from there they can actually pinpoint pinpoint smaller issues or more internal faults, which honestly at this point that should probably be on a t-shirt in the game for like a meme. That would be so dang funny. But at least they can actually find more internal faults. Like for example, let's say you actually go customize your character, it doesn't let you in, or it doesn't let you do it. At least they can be like, okay, so these servers are pretty dang stable. Let's take a look at this issue. And I just feel like something like that is a great idea. That really does come down to the fact of why I actually thought an open beta was most likely going to come. And who knows, maybe they will still do it. I honestly have to say, guys, I really think they should. Like, that would really help out the server stability and see what people are having issues with. Now, here is another good example of this. Let's just say we actually have an open beta. Around 70% of the players get in with no issues. That's great, right? What if the other 30% though log on to the game and they can't even customize their character, having the internal fault like a lot of us did? Then that's probably going to have one key factor in it. If that's actually causing an issue, when the game comes out, it is most likely still going to be a problem. But I was looking at this in another way though. I really do think the server structure is probably going to be stronger, or at least better, when the game does end up coming out. I mean, for example, right now, guys, let's take a look at this. We all do know, and we've probably heard over 100 plus times, that the beta is older. What if the entire server structure is also on an older type of build? Now, again, this probably sounds a bit insane, but what if the newer versions we have been seeing are also going to be stronger? To be honest, I really do feel like they're actually working out these server issues pretty dang quick, because that first day I was having issues logging onto the game. I have not had that issue since. I haven't crashed. The only thing is I can't change my character's look right now in the main salon there, but that isn't going to be a huge deal. At least I can actually jump on the game, buy cars, drive around, and do all that stuff, and I'm not crashing. So who knows, maybe if the game does actually have a rough start. But here's another thing. I feel like a lot of players are going to be playing on the 5th and not the 12th because of the gold edition, and that way they can actually play 7 days earlier. So who knows, maybe that might also help the servers out in that aspect. Now, I would like to know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Are you a bit concerned for the day one servers of Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown? At this point, I feel like most players are probably going to be a bit concerned. I do admit though, with me, I am being very optimistic that they are testing this stuff out, and it's actually going to be a pretty dang good launch. Again, let me know your thoughts in the comments below.